Hi, I'm Randy Berry, the Department of State's Special Envoy for the Human Rights of LGBTI persons. Today, I'm honored to wish all of you a very happy Pride Month. For the United States and for many other governments, institutions, and people around the world, Pride is about celebrating our diverse communities, recognizing our accomplishments, and also reflecting on the challenges that lie ahead. Pride is also about acknowledging the resiliency and strength of the LGBTI community. We've unfortunately seen this strength and resiliency endlessly tested in far too many places, including in my own country with the tragic hate-motivated murder of 49 people in Orlando. President Obama said that these attacks are a sobering reminder that attacks on any American, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, or sexual orientation, are an attack on the fundamental values of equality and dignity that define us as a country. These values also continue to define our foreign policy as we seek to work with partners across all regions to build a world that is more just and unified by respect, acceptance, and equal protection for all. We are also deeply heartened by the way in which the Orlando community has come together, as well as the outpouring of support from communities and allies around the United States and from so many nations and so many civil society organizations and so many individuals around the world. Thank you for your messages of condolence and support. Over 45 years ago, the first Pride March took place in New York City. Now, Pride events are an international symbol of progress from Tokyo to Kyiv, from Havana to Buenos Aires, and from Kampala to Cape Town. We've witnessed activists from across the world demonstrate immense creativity and courage in recognizing Pride, through, for example, the holding of a Miss Pink pageant in Kathmandu, or by using graffiti art to highlight laws that criminalize same-sex conduct in a Middle Eastern country, and of course the hundreds of beautiful rallies and marches that take place across the globe. I just returned from Ukraine, where I saw firsthand how the police, activists, and government leaders work together to hold a safe and secure march. The event was publicized on billboards and through advertisements, commended by companies, and thousands marched peacefully in the center of Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. In many countries, our embassies and consulates are working to show solidarity with the LGBTI community. Our diplomats are marching together with activists, and many of our embassies proudly fly the Pride flag. I personally had the privilege of raising the Pride flag last year at our Consulate General in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We're also providing forums for activists from different sectors, such as the youth and gender movements, to discuss common efforts around violence reduction, non-discrimination, and reducing social stigma. Our colleagues at embassies are hosting film screenings, cultural events, and other public activities to provide platforms for increased discussion and awareness. As the Special Envoy, I've now traveled to more than 40 countries in every region of the world. During these visits, I have been deeply inspired by the members of civil society groups who exhibit unwavering bravery and dedicate each day to the advancement of human rights for LGBTI persons, even in the most challenging of environments. I've also seen firsthand how Pride celebrations and gatherings are opportunities to reject hate, to reject inequality, and to reach out to friends, families, and allies. Pride serves to encourage the advancement of human rights and fundamental freedoms, including freedom of association, peaceful assembly, and expression. It has been challenging and exhilarating, and above all, a deep honor to represent the United States in this capacity and to demonstrate our unwavering commitment to advance equality and the human rights of all people. Pride marches are over in a day, but they create the understanding, awareness, and visibility that makes a constructive, positive conversation possible where it matters most, not only on Pride, but on every day of the year. At the State Department, the protection of the human rights of LGBTI persons is an essential component of our foreign policy. This means that we work every day to try to create the space LGBTI and allied activists on the ground need to realize their own human rights objectives. We hold discussions with governments, and some of these aren't easy, but they all start with a shared understanding that violence and discrimination against any person harms all people. Our human rights reports include a special section on human rights violations based on sexual orientation and gender identity. And at the United Nations, we are also working closely with a range of partners, including leading voices from Latin America, to ensure the work of the United Nations is fully inclusive of the human rights and needs of LGBTI persons. In undertaking this work, we are cognizant of the challenges that lie ahead. Still, over 70 countries criminalize consensual adult same-sex activity or use other laws to target LGBTI persons. These discriminatory policies against LGBTI persons continue to incite fear and breed intolerance. Violence targeting transgender persons is of particular concern, and we are currently enhancing our efforts with other U.S. agencies, including the Department of Justice, to address this problem. As Secretary Kerry has said, we have a moral obligation to speak out against the persecution and marginalization of LGBTI persons. And we have a moral obligation to promote societies that are more just, fair, and tolerant. It is the right thing to do. But make no mistake, it's also a strategic necessity. Greater protection of human rights leads to greater stability, prosperity, tolerance, and inclusivity. I'm proud to work for a Secretary of State and a President who are drivers of positive change and committed to ensuring the equal treatment of every person with respect, dignity, and equality under the law. In an interconnected world, it is the responsibility of each one of us to work together to take a stand against discrimination and injustice. I am confident that our collective efforts will ensure another year of continued progress towards equality. American icon Harvey Milk once quite correctly said, "Rights are won only by those who make their voices heard." It is my deepest hope and my deepest belief that our strength, our resilience, and our resolve will grow. We have an obligation, globally, to build a positive legacy from the tragedy of Orlando and others like it. That legacy must be measured by the action, progress, and openness demonstrated by a united global community. On behalf of the United States, I'm proud to recommit to the goal of many voices being heard and to work with all of you to elevate the voices of the LGBTI community every day and everywhere. Happy Pride, everyone.